Welcome to the podcast, where a passion meets purpose and limits are challenged. I'm your host, Eleonora Gendelman. Let's start bending reality. Most gurus, coaches, motivational speakers are teaching you to copy their path instead of creating your own. And that's why 95% of people who consume self-help content never actually change their lives. They want you to believe that success follows a formula, that if you just work hard enough and follow the system, you'll get the results. But here's what they're not telling you. Their success came from breaking the rules, not following them. Every breakthrough in human achievement came from someone who refused to accept the limitations that everyone else accepted. The moment you start trying to copy someone else's success, you've already lost because you are operating from their neural networks instead of creating your own. Real transformation doesn't come from following proven strategies. It comes from accessing unproven possibilities. It comes from becoming a version of yourself that has never existed before. The society wants you to believe that you need their permission, their validation, their systems to create the life you want. But the truth is, you are already equipped with the most sophisticated technology in the universe, your consciousness. And consciousness doesn't follow rules, it creates them. Right now, in this very moment, your brain is conducting over 400 billion operations per second, most of which occur outside your conscious awareness. It's analyzing, processing, creating, and most importantly, it's building the neural networks that will determine who you become tomorrow. Every single thought you think is literally sculpting your brain. Every emotion you feel is bathing your cells in a chemical signature that either moves you towards your dreams or keeps you trapped in your past. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're experiencing in your external world and what you're experiencing in your internal world. To your brain, thinking about doing something and actually doing it creates the same neural firing patterns. This means that right now you have the power to begin living as the person you want to become, even before your external circumstances change. The future version of yourself already exists as a potential in the quantum field. That person has different thoughts, different emotions, different behaviors, and different choices. They walk differently, they talk differently, they respond to challenges differently. The question isn't whether that person exists. The question is whether you are willing to start acting like them today. Your personality creates your personal reality. If you want to change your life, you have to change your personality. And your personality is made up of how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Most people try to change the external world first, but that's backwards. You have to change your internal world first, and then your external world will begin to reflect the change. The human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, and each neuron can connect to thousands of other neurons. This creates an infinite web of possibilities for who you can become. But most people only use a tiny fraction of their brain's potential because they keep thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and doing the same things every single day. When you truly understand that your thoughts are not you, but something you can observe and change, everything shifts. You realize that you are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the creator of them. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are the one generating them. You're not stuck with your current behaviors. You can choose new ones. The moment you start to act like the person you want to become, your brain begins to fire and wire in new patterns. These new patterns become new neural networks, and these new neural networks become new automatic programs. Over time, these new programs become your new personality, and your new personality creates your new personal reality. Every great achievement in human history began with someone acting as if their vision was already real. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They did not wait until they felt ready. They started acting like the person who had already accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. Your brain is the most sophisticated technology on the planet, but it's running on outdated software. Most of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors were programmed when you were a child. You're living your life based on programs that were installed when you were a child. Yet, you wonder why you can't create the life you want as an adult. Neuroplasticity means your brain can change throughout your entire life. Every time you learn something new, every time you have a novel experience, every time you challenge yourself to think differently, you are literally rewiring your brain. The brain you have today is not the same brain you had yesterday, and it's not the brain you'll have tomorrow. The secret is learning to fire and to wire new neural networks through mental rehearsal. When you repeatedly imagine yourself being, doing, and having what you want, you are installing the neurological hardware for that future before it happens. You are literally downloading the software of your future self into your brain. As humans, we are addicted to being ourselves, addicted to the familiar emotions, the familiar thoughts, the familiar behaviors. Even if these familiar patterns are creating pain and limitation, they feel more comfortable than the unknown. That's the survival brain trying to keep us safe and comfortable and in the familiar box. Your body has become addicted to being you, and like any addiction, it will resist change. The moment you try to change, your body will send you signals that something is wrong. It will create discomfort, anxiety, and resistance. This isn't a sign that you are doing something wrong. It's a sign that you are doing something different. Your body is trying to pull you back to the familiar, but this is exactly when you need to stay strong and continue forward. Every emotion you feel is a chemical reaction in your body. When you feel anger, your body produces different chemicals than when you feel love. When you feel fear, your body produces different chemicals than when you feel excitement. Over time, your body becomes addicted to certain emotional states, and it will unconsciously seek out situations and those familiar feelings. If you've been living in stress for years, your body has become addicted to stress hormones. If you've been living in anger for years, your body has become addicted to the chemicals of anger. If you've been living in sadness for years, your body has become addicted to the chemicals of sadness. Breaking these addictions requires you to feel uncomfortable temporarily while you install new emotional programs. Your survival brain is designed to keep you safe, but it's also designed to keep you the same. It sees change as a threat, even when the change would improve your life. The survival brain operates from fear, limitation, and scarcity. It's always looking for what could go wrong, what might hurt you, what you should avoid. Your creative brain operates from possibility, abundance, and love. It's always looking for what could go right, what opportunities exist, what you could create. Most people spend most of their time in survival mode, which is why they keep recreating the same life over and over again. The moment you step out of survival mode and into creation mode, you gain access to the infinite field of possibilities. You stop being the victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your circumstances. You stop reacting to your environment and start creating your environment. Mental rehearsal is not just positive thinking or wishful thinking. It's a precise neurological process that primes your brain and body for new experiences. When you mentally rehearse being confident, your brain fires the same neural networks that fire when you actually feel confident. When you mentally rehearse being successful, your brain fires the same neural networks that fire when you actually experience success. Elite athletes spend hours mentally rehearsing their performance before they ever step onto the field. They visualize every move, every decision, so that by the time they actually compete, their brain and body are already familiar with the experience of winning. You can use the same principle to rehearse any aspect of your life. You can mentally rehearse being the confident person you want to become. You can mentally rehearse having the successful career you want to have. You can mentally rehearse experiencing the loving relationship you want to create. The key is to make the mental rehearsal so vivid, so detailed, so emotionally charged that your brain thinks it's actually happening. The brain cannot tell the difference between what you are vividly imagining and what you are actually experiencing. This is why memories feel so real. Because to your brain, they are real. They are neural networks that fire and wire together every time you recall them. The same thing happens when you imagine your future. You are creating neural networks for experiences that haven't happened yet. Most people use their imagination to worry about what might go wrong. They mentally rehearse their fears, their limitations, their problems. They are unknowingly programming their brain and body for more of what they do not want. What if you flip this around and started using your imagination to rehearse what you actually want? The key to effective mental rehearsal is combining clear intention with elevated emotion. Intention without emotion is just a thought. Emotion without intention is just a feeling. But when you combine clear intention with elevated emotion, you create the perfect conditions for transformation. You have to feel the emotions of your future before your future happens. You have to feel grateful before you have something to be grateful for. You have to feel abundant before you have abundance. You have to feel loved before you experience love. This is the secret. You don't wait for the experience to create the feeling. You create the feeling to attract the experience. Most people live their lives in a state of lack, always waiting for something external to change before they can feel good. They say things like, I'll be happy when I get the job, or I'll feel confident when I lose weight, or I'll be grateful when I have more money. But this is backwards. You have to become happy, confident, and grateful first, and then those external things will show up in your life. In just 2 minutes, you can shift your state using simple yet very powerful tools like movement, breathwork, affirmations, and visualizations. Follow at Elevate Coaching on Instagram, where I share my tools for quick state shifts and my practices to stay elevated. Your energy is your power, and you have the ability to elevate it anytime. If you're ready to go deeper into the process of recreating yourself and aligning with the life you truly want, book a free discovery call. Let's bridge the gap between where you are and where you are meant to be. Link you will find in show notes. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and share with someone who would benefit as well. Thank you for choosing yourself, doing the work, and creating change. Keep living with purpose.